Okay, literally, yeah. Let me know when you're ready. Yes, thanks for allowing us to come give
I was starting the intro already, but I guess this can be a part.
Okay, sorry. All right, well, different one, man. You let me know when to go.
All right, so stop talking.
What's up, everybody? Episode 8 of Leather and Laces Money Tree. Today we're going to discuss the world of college football. To state it plainly, we are short men. We're going to be without Nick and Geek, but Drew, Reese, and Connor are here. So y'all get ready for a good one.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not going to enjoy part of this.
How'd you feel about the football game for Auburn, Drew?
I don't know that you could really call it a football game. Much more like an embarrassment.
Hey, thank you for still coming on, though, even though the other two Auburn fans left. I appreciate you showing up and being present.
Yeah,
you know?
I thought about not letting you into the house to do the podcast, but I thought better of it. I thought I needed to
did. Yeah, you did.
show up like an Auburn fan.
You
like
manned up and you did. That's
they're
right.
thick and thin, you know. Mostly thin currently.
Oh, very.
So what was Auburn's issue? Since I didn't catch the game, I just saw the score.
So, quarter number 1, do you know how many offensive plays Auburn ran?
Take a guess and say 12.
5.
3.
Wow.
And a quarter?
And a quarter. So
That's crazy.
And who was this against?
New Mexico State.
Okay.
The Aggies.
Just making sure.
Yeah. So they kick the ball off. We get the ball first. We go 3 and out. Or no, my bad. We kick off to them, and they start off the game. They go down, get a touchdown. Kick off to us. We get 3 and out, and then they get the ball back and proceed to hold on to it the rest of the first quarter. And they pretty much did that like the entire game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
Auburn's offense, that's been it. Some games they hit it like that first drive, they're already in it, but most of the time it's been like it's taken a couple drives to get into it, and they never got ahead of it.
Yeah. I did see the leading rusher was the quarterback. 7 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah. And this is Peyton Thorne, who coming from Michigan State like did not run at all.
Yeah.
Even though we have the 43rd best rushing offense coming into last week's game. I just felt like you could have done a whole lot more with an SEC offensive line. What's worse is Cam Coleman, the guy from A&M that we're trying to flip, was in attendance. But the same. So I was talking to one of my buddies at work, and the same thing happened to Julio Jones. He was at the Louisiana Monroe game back in 2007, and he's still committed and played. So it could mean nothing.
That's positivity. I like it. You got to find it.
It
Glass
could be
half
nothing.
full.
But we already got one 5-star recruit, wide receiver recruit, hoping for a second. The last time we had a 5-star wide receiver recruit was Bim Obamanu in 2002.
Wow.
So it's been 2 decades.
Good for y'all, man.
So hopefully we can turn it around. If nothing else, Hugh Freeze can recruit. Coach, that's to be determined.
Yep.
So do you like Hugh Freeze, Drew?
I don't dislike him. I think he says all the right stuff at this point, which, I mean, if you're going to be a head coach and you say the wrong stuff, you're not going to be a head coach for long. So take that with a
Through
grain of
11
salt.
games, yeah. You would think he says the right things. But.
There was a tweet that said Hugh Freeze said everyone seems to be in quite a fog Monday morning after the loss.
Cornell came out.
He would like to see everybody in a little
Quite a
bit
fog.
higher spirit as they march on Alabama.
So everybody was looking towards Alabama.
Of course.
Like they just assume that they're going to roll past New Mexico State.
Correct.
Although
I got you.
in the whatever the 100 ranking is, they actually had New Mexico State at 44 and Auburn at 46.
They did have a 93 record now after beating Auburn. It's a pretty good record. I need to look at the
But
schedule.
the unfortunate part is we beat UMass, who beat New Mexico State.
That's interesting.
And we beat Vanderbilt, who went, and this is like, I know it's kind of transitive property here, but Vanderbilt beat Hawaii on the road, and Hawaii beat New Mexico State.
So y'all are worse than Hawaii.
Yeah, evidently.
It's okay.
But I think it's just, it's a fluke game, and you got to look at it that you didn't prepare your guys,
Yeah.
and it's year 1 of a coach, so, you know,
Hey, at least y'all are
the
making a
sky's
bowl
not
game.
falling.
That's
Yeah.
positivity. That's all.
Well, it's better than we've done the last 2 years, so.
That
and
is
the,
true.
And the
That's what I'm
potato
saying.
famine, so.
I have a full sheet right here that I was ready to just go in on. But again,
I'm ready for it,
You
man.
know, we're friends,
I'm
man.
here.
I'm not.
I'm
I
here.
can't do it. I thought it was going to be like a 1-on-3 or 2-on-3 kind of thing, but a 2-on-1's not fair.
Well, no, you can. We can try.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, great. I don't think anyone had a better weekend than the state of New Mexico. They got paid almost $2 million to absolutely smash Auburn. Hugh Freeze is now 0-2 against them in the last 2 seasons.
That's crazy.
New Mexico was already locked into their conference championship game, so in theory, they didn't even have to worry about this game, and they still whooped Auburn by 21.
Against Jacksonville State or Liberty, I think is who they play.
They're in I think it's first year in Conference USA.
So
So
Jacksonville
it must be Jacksonville State. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know my conferences.
But so I did see an interesting article. And I'm just thinking about next year when Oklahoma and Texas are added to the SEC. I got this from an article written by Joe Vitale last year. It's just most wanted SEC football jobs. It goes Georgia, Alabama, A&M, LSU, Florida, Tennessee, then Auburn. I would have to put Texas and Oklahoma ahead. Are you worried about Auburn being stuck in purgatory starting next year?
No, because while the production doesn't show it, they spend the most money on college football. They're
More
in the
than-
top 10.
Okay. Like percentage or actual like dollar amounts?
I think this was a couple years ago, but let me see what
I
we
feel
got.
like A&M's got to be the top or at near the top.
Yep. So this is from, what is this? This is on 3, and this was 2 years ago. So everyone's kind of in it. It's Ohio State, Michigan, Texas, Bama, A&M, Penn State, Oklahoma, Florida State, LSU, Wisconsin. How does Wisconsin spend that much money? Iowa,
should
Michigan
show for it.
State, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Louisville, Georgia, Auburn. So Georgia and Auburn both spend almost the same amount, and that was 2 years ago.
Is there a camera on? Yeah. So I'm sorry, you said Auburn was where?
On that list, they were like 10th. But when you're in the top 10 in spending and you're in the best conference in the league, I mean, it's got to be it's got to be high up there for most wanted jobs. Like, it's got to be the top half of the SEC. Easy.
That's what I'm saying. Is it though? Because starting next year, how many teams will be in there? Is it 16?
16. No, I think you're right. Because they were talking about doing like the pod system where it's 4-4-4-4.
So they're probably at 9, right? Because I mean, that's what I'm saying. The list most wanted: Georgia, Alabama, A&M, LSU, Florida, Tennessee, probably Oklahoma, Texas, then Auburn.
I don't know that I want to put Tennessee or Florida ahead of Auburn. Like, even now.
Really?
Like, Tennessee's had 2 good years, but I don't know that I'd want to be at Tennessee.
I think it's just because they're the top dog in this, in that state.
Well, it's
Just by
certainly
default.
easier when you're the top dog in a state. So you have Texas, but you got Texas and Texas A&M.
Who do you put first in that?
Oh, Texas, easy. Texas A&M has a lot of money, but they're going to be in debt. Just about.
Jimbo.
Old Jimbo. But
I won't keep rambling on because again, you're in an unfair battle right here.
I guess just one last thing. Like, what are your thoughts on going into the Iron Bowl? Like, how is it going to go for you? Do you think?
I think Auburn could start the season 0-11, and come that 12th game, they're still going to play.
Yeah.
Because it's a pride thing. Against New Mexico State, what kind of pride are you going to take in beating them?
None.
So how much?
It's a good spin zone. Yeah.
But against Alabama, you got them coming into your home turf, and it's like one of the most bitter rivalries in all of college football, all of sports. So they could come in this game losing their last 25. They're still going to get up for it.
Yeah.
And if they
Eventually.
don't, like, what kind of a competitor are you? And if they don't show up for the game this week, I would argue that you could fire him.
Yeah.
But, like, if you don't do that, like, you don't belong as a head coach anywhere.
I guess it's one thing. I mean, you should have no excuses, but if you are going to look past a team like that, you at least got to show up the following week for the team that you were.
Yeah,
You know.
and you gotta rest on your laurels and go back. Like you held the number 1 Georgia team to a touchdown, and then you let New Mexico State come in and break the doors off you. But you held them to 1 touchdown. If it's not for the greatest tight end in college football history, maybe.
Amen. All I'm saying is, if y'all lose to Auburn next weekend, just go ahead. Don't even bother showing up in Atlanta.
Oh, I won't.
Don't even.
I mean,
Just give
I don't know
Georgia the trophy.
how-
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would do in that situation. Like, I mean, yeah, we had a rough start of Alabama with,
Yeah.
losing Texas. It was tough, but, like, Texas is good. And then USF, we were just terrible, but we've gotten much better. Offensive coordinator has gotten the right play calls using Moreau just the best way possible. I think we'll be fine. I think it'll be a pretty large win. It'll be close at first. I would assume, like, the first quarter, first half, Iron Bowl, all that, but I think we'll be all right. But it's always a possibility. That's the great thing about college football.
Yeah.
If Saban was like real smart, and he is obviously. Let's not get that twisted. But if he would just look back at the New Mexico State game and just be like, all right, what did New Mexico State do? They held onto the ball for 45 of the 60 minutes
That's
of the game.
crazy.
Not maybe not that drastic, but it may as well have been.
Yeah.
And so, if they were to just run Milrow and then all your running backs, if they ran it 67, 70% of the time, and then just stayed ahead, keep your defense off, stay rested up for Georgia, that's what I'd do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we can discuss the Heisman watch real quick.
So this one's kind of an enigma to me, and I may be slightly biased since Bo Nix was at Auburn for the majority of his career. But how in the world does Jaden Daniels jump him?
He did put up 8 touchdowns last week.
Jaden Daniels,
So
yeah.
patting his stats.
Okay. I didn't even look at the
Who-
odds right
who'd he
there.
do it against?
He's 130 right now,
Do I?
minus.
Who do you do it against? Who do you
Georgia
do it
State.
against? Georgia State.
Yeah, I mean,
They're trying to get in the
not a good
Heisman,
team, but
yeah.
like his running ability is absurd.
But he's 8-3 and 4th in his conference.
I mean,
he's not going to make
who
the
else
playoffs.
was like 8-3, like Johnny Manziel probably.
So
Lamar
I
Jackson.
thought about that, but can you name me who came in second that year in Heisman?
No.
Where this is actually, you actually have competitors.
I'd be interested to hear
Lamar,
about that
right?
though. Yeah, Lamar.
Yeah, so-
he was like 8. He had to be like 8-3, like Johnny Manziel or
Yeah.
something. And then I'm sure there was a couple other guys that we probably know who were 8 and like whatever, like had a
All right,
few
so
losses.
just to put
Yeah.
it in perspective, the runner-up to Johnny Manziel was Manti Te'o. So
That's
come on.
Poor guy, man.
that
Poor
is
guy.
tough.
All right, now Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
I think he had. Yeah, I was gonna say he had much better.
Yeah, Deshaun, who I think should have won, but I like Lamar Jackson, so that's okay.
And he was. What was the record that year for Clemson for Deshaun?
That's when we won the national championship.
See,
we were undefeated.
to me, if all things are equal, and they may not be, I'm not looking at the stats, but if all things are equal, you take the guy that's been on an undefeated team, or like a one-loss team that's actually going to be
I thought they should have took
relevant.
Deshaun too that year. I think I partially thought of that reasoning too. I mean, Lamar Jackson was great, but he also beat Lamar Jackson head to head at Death Valley.
That's true.
And I was thinking like that would, have a factor into it. But
See, I don't know how I feel about that though, because Penix, who's third, he beat Bo Nix, but
Yeah.
he's not the reason, or Bo Nix wasn't the reason that they lost, and Penix wasn't the reason that they won necessarily.
I don't know. I can't really see Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I just can't see him winning. Like,
Can we agree these are the final 3 though?
yeah,
I feel like they have to be the final
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
I was thinking Bo Nix, or I kind of like the idea of like whoever wins the Pac-12
Yeah.
championship, like, and obviously plays a decent game, then they should
that-
be like the
and
front
that's-
runner
yeah.
to win. But
I agree. I think winner of the Pac-12 title game should be the front runner. Whether if it's Penix, if he's 13-0 at that point, or if it's Bo at 12-1, winning on a neutral site instead of on the road.
Yeah.
So
I do think you have to give props to him, though. I mean, he's out of all 3 of them. Jaden Daniels is playing the best competition. He's leading, so he's got 36 passing touchdowns. Bo has 35. Penix has 30, but he's also got 10 rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, he's a scoring machine, man.
I don't know that he's necessarily playing better competition. If you look at the most ranks, ranked teams.
Like defense, though.
Well, so the way I look at it is, if you're in the top 25, there's got to be a reason for that. Like you can put defenses out there all you want, but at the end of the day, Oregon has played more top 25 teams and beaten more top 25 teams.
Bo Nix had a pretty good game, didn't he? The first half, he had
he had 300 passing yards in the first half, and then ended up with 400 and 6 touchdowns.
But Jane Daniels, that's also why he had so many touchdowns. They kept him in till like maybe the second to last drive.
Yeah,
so
they
that's also
pulled
something
Nix
you need
already.
to look at. Like they were destroying Georgia
But, I
State.
mean,
There was
you
no
look at the
reason for him to
stats.
be in.
Jaden Daniels with 3,600 yards passing, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nix with 3,500 yards passing, 35 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, not that many rushing yards, and 5 touchdown rushes.
I mean, if it's NCAA 14, Jane Daniels wins by a landslide.
But Bo's completion percentage is 80.
I think if they beat
insane.
Washington, he has to get it.
That's what I'm saying.
But if Washington beats
then
Oregon, then
it's-
Jane Daniels
If
has a good
Washington
chance.
beats
he's got a chance,
Oregon, then
yeah.
I would concede that Penix should win over Daniels.
Is any of this talk making y'all think Caleb Williams is not the obvious number one overall pick?
I mean, how did
Let's
Drake-
just not say that. Let's say, because I think if you're a GM, given all the hype and everything, I think you get slammed for not taking him just because of the name. But
Yeah.
y'all think he is the best player going into that draft at quarterback?
I mean, at quarterback, there's a lot of actually decent quarterbacks coming in. I don't know how I feel about Drake May. He's not bad by any means. His defense is just terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, what other quarterbacks? Obviously, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I don't know.
Jaden
I don't really
Daniels,
see. I don't see Michael Penix doing too great. In the
Penix is
NFL,
not
but
a top 30 pick. He's
That's-
not a first
no,
rounder.
no, of course not.
He's a second rounder that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be happy to get.
Yeah, I mean, he could always do well with being that pick. I'm just trying to think of who might have a better career. But in terms of like a draft, I mean, I see people taking Caleb Williams over like Drake May and who else. I mean, they're not going to take Jordan Travis. He didn't think he had a chance anyways. But the injury itself, I think he'll get drafted. But
I don't know. It's gotten so weird in the last few years with who goes in the first round. Like you've had Daniel Jones go second, and Wilson go second.
Sam Darnold went.
Sam Darnold went pretty high. Who else am I thinking of? The Bears. Trubisky. He went second. Basically, if you have the second overall pick, don't pick a quarterback. He's going to suck.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Never accepting every
that one
role.
back.
Yeah.
He broke the curse.
I was gonna say just take a D lineman. I mean, they're Nick Bosa and Will Anderson are playing all
Harrison's
right.
up there. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
Brock
So-
Bowers, if you want to tie them,
Hey man.
I'd take those.
It's likely that the Bears have the top pick.
Do you keep
them-
Justin Fields? I don't know if I want to like. I just after seeing what Caleb Williams has done
But
this year, it's just weird.
In the past 5 games that he's been healthy, he's actually been a really good quarterback.
I know he's not the problem. That's the thing. People can't wrap their heads around it. I think the coach sucks. He even admitted they had him playing like a robot. And I'm just thinking if you took the opposite approach and said, let's use, because it's going to be 2 top 5 picks. Let's use those to help supplement him, get him Marvin Harrison, get him
A defensive
great
back or
offensive
something.
lineman. Or like that. Come on. I mean, if you're going to compete with the Lions, you got to have a good offense, a great offense. So
That's a crazy statement. To compete with the Lions. Like, no one's ever said that.
I think this is the first time on Thanksgiving I'll say, Mom, let me sit down and watch the Lions. I got to catch the Lions game real quick.
I think my dad would smack me if I said this. Like, let me watch the Lions game.
Boy,
Like,
you crazy.
Get out of here right now. First off, don't you dare turn off the Cowboys game. I'm just telling you.
That's right. Oh man. And then you got the Packers who are not. It's like roles were reversed, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, coming into the season, like the first 2 weeks, everyone was like, Jordan Love is going to be trash. And then the first 2 weeks, he was like, I'm not going to be trash this year. And then week 3, he's like, I'm trash again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just kind of assumed I was like, I don't know, Favre, Rodgers, dang near 40 years of excellence. He's going to fall right in line, but yeah, just dealing with reality, man.
Did y'all see the Florida-Missouri game?
No, I did. I saw the
no,
field goal.
I saw it briefly at the gym.
They had
That was a
a
close
hell of a
one.
comeback. But that, other than that, there wasn't a good game, was there?
I threw a couple in there. Washington at Oregon State was a 2-point game.
I watched some of that. It wasn't.
And
like,
so
yeah.
if Oregon absolutely, because it, just looking at it from somebody who hadn't watched like Washington's games or Oregon games super closely, Oregon's been beating the doors off of everybody not named USC.
Yeah.
And Washington has had close game after close game after close game. So if they're struggling against Oregon State and Oregon comes out on the road and just absolutely thrashes Oregon State, that next week or the week after may not be a very close game.
And all along, I thought since they lost, because I had Oregon winning the first matchup against Washington.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is only helping my case. I mean, they're creaming. They're beating down the teams they're supposed to beat down. And Texas, Iowa State, that was only a 10-point game. I guess we're still waiting for them to make the playoff, but I really don't want to see it.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, there is, you know.
So
if Florida State's
goes, quarterback's out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I think Florida State, they got to play Duke or Clemson in the ACC championship game.
I thought it was Louisville.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it should be
they're getting-
Louisville.
Louisville
Clemson's
didn't
definitely
look,
not.
Louisville didn't look great last week against Miami,
No.
but it was at Miami, so I'll give them a little bit of pass. But I don't think it's gonna be a very close game. I think Louisville just comes out and just
All right. We can talk about, I guess, real quick, the game, Michigan and Ohio State.
Oh, I was going to say one more thing about Florida State real quick. But
Oh, okay.
and because you and I talked about it on the way here. First of all, feel horrible about what happened to him. Tough injury.
absolutely.
Hate it for him. Great quarterback. But Connor and I were talking on the way here, and I think if they go undefeated, you can't omit them.
without the quarterback.
But that first round matchup's going to be an absolute beatdown, dude. Whoever they play, oh man,
You have to absolutely have to let him through, because what if the quarterback comes out and pulls like a Tua Tagovailoa?
Yeah.
Like it's where legends are made. Like literally, that's what this is for. So you get the next man up mentality. You get whatever quarterback you got, give it the best shot, and maybe you have like a stud.
Yeah.
Like lots of pressure on Cole makes a diamond. So see what happens.
But now, do you think if they lose the ACC championship, then I think they take this as kind of a reason to say, hey, ratings aren't going to be,
Which I think they are going to lose the ACC championship game. But if they lose, they're out, and it's going to be 3 undefeateds and a 1 loss. Probably Oregon.
It could get messy, though. Yeah.
Although, at that point, do you take a 1-loss Oregon or a 1-loss Ohio State or Michigan?
Yeah.
That's where it gets messy. Or a 1-loss Alabama. Let's say they beat Georgia. Then you have a 1-loss Georgia. This bunch of 1-loss
Then I
people.
think that would be, you would have to take I think the only loser of the championship game that would make it would have to be Georgia in that scenario.
Yeah.
That's like the most legitimate case. Like they've won, it'll be 29 in a row.
TCU.
After that game.
They were undefeated up until the Big 12. Did I have that right?
Yes.
The
Because
Big
they
12
lost to
title game.
Kansas State. Yeah.
And they still got in.
Yeah.
And so if you try and tell me for a second that if TCU in the Big 12 loses to Kansas State and they get in, you can't tell me that Georgia loses to Alabama and Alabama gets in and Georgia doesn't. They both got to get in.
That's how I feel, but people are going to look at it as there's a lot of parity. They're going to say a lot of talent everywhere, but at the end of the day, I think he and I, which Connor and I don't agree on much, but we agreed that I think it's Georgia's title to lose right now, so I think they beat Alabama, they win the whole thing. And I think if Alabama can knock off Georgia at that point, like who do you really see beating them?
Yeah.
Because
Georgia's the best team in the league right now.
And we don't even got to talk about the Tennessee-Georgia game. All I know is they showed up to Neyland Stadium, won by 28. Carson Beck looks like Stetson Bennett on steroids. So that was my main takeaway, because I know Stetson went back-to-back, and some said he was the best quarterback in Georgia history, but I'm like, dude, this guy, he's doing it with less. When you look at it, like,
Yeah.
Like, why are they still undefeated? I mean, yeah, even their toughest. I did the math. The toughest part of their schedule was these past 3 weeks, and they won by an average of 24 points.
Well, and that goes back to changing the sport a little bit. But if you look at the Spurs, like back before they were terrible recently, they could take a hodgepodge of like role players and be a 60-win team.
Yeah.
I wonder if the coaching staff at Georgia just has everything nailed down. They're just like, if Kirby Smart's got them in such a groove that you could put any above average or any average college football athlete and turn them into a team.
You can kind of compare it to, this might be crazy, but give me a second. You compare Carson Beck to Kawhi Leonard in that scenario. So in theory, you have your big three getting older, aging on the way out, and this kid that was picked in the middle of the first round, no one really had expectations for, didn't have a star at that position. It's like all of a sudden, he carries it on, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, he wasn't, I think he was a 4-star, so I mean, he wasn't like a top quarterback recruit. We got that coming in next year, but he's doing a great job.
So to get to the games, Connor, the weird thing for me, as I was putting together the previewing rivalry week, is you got the Egg Bowl, you got the Civil War Bowl, the Governor's Cup, the Iron Bowl, and then you have Ohio State versus Michigan.
And that's 11 a.m.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't they have a name? Like
It's called the game. It's literally called the game. That's
no.
It's not like the Iron
The
Bowl,
game is
Governor's
the
Cup.
Super Bowl.
They
Come on.
just call it. Well, they call the Super Bowl the Super Bowl.
But yeah, if somebody says, "Did you watch the game last weekend?" I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a strange name, but it's just
so
what
in
it's
my
called.
in my 15 seconds of Googling, I looked up what is the Ohio State Michigan rivalry called, and it was like Ohio State versus Michigan, and I was like, yeah, you gotta have a better name.
That, I know it sucks, but like at the same time, when your rivalry is called the game and it's like an actual thing, that's pretty sick.
I don't know
Like
that
if you
that's
were
a
a
thing.
fan of one of those teams, that'd be like, hey, y'all are calling this game with our team the game.
There's no way.
Because Georgia and Georgia Tech don't really have a name that I know of. It could be the Georgia Bowl. I don't know. Let me see.
This is so. Just to put it in perspective, though, this is the first time I've ever heard it called the game.
Really?
I've never heard it called that.
See, I've known it was the game. All right, so I stand corrected. Georgia Tech is not called the Georgia Bowl. It's called Clean Old Fashioned Hate,
Oh God.
which
You know what Auburn and Georgia's rivalry is called?
the South's oldest rivalry
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
At least they have a cool name, not just
Clean old-fashioned
what
hate,
everybody else plays. The game.
The game.
Anyway,
I think, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I think Michigan's overblown, dude. I
So-
get with the whole scandal and all that crap. I mean, they're posted on ESPN all the time. I don't know, dude. I don't think they have a shot. But when they play legitimate out of Big Ten teams, come on, man. AKA the SEC.
yeah.
Like,
So who do you think wins? Or what's the final score? Since you're saying Ohio State.
I want to say Ohio State wins.
I'm saying Michigan wins.
So I was thinking Michigan, and I was kind of pulling for Michigan because like whenever I'm watching a football game or like any team sport where I don't care about either team, I vote for chaos. Like I'm rooting for chaos. Like I'm rooting for you to go down the field, tied up. I'm rooting for them to go back down the field and go ahead, and then vice versa, back and forth, back and forth. I'm rooting for chaos, and so I think Michigan beating Ohio State with all the stuff that they have going for them outside, or not going for them, I guess, outside of the game. I want Michigan to win just so it's that much more interesting. There's more talking points. So
Fair. I just think Ohio State's very talented, and Michigan got away with beating Penn State, which I think Penn State's always been a little overrated because what have they actually won? They got plenty of talent, but it's like, dude,
they're like at
Yeah.
the top of the next tier, but they're
Yeah.
still that next tier.
they're a B team. They're top of the B team.
I mean,
Yeah.
with Patino, is it Patino? Patino?
No.
The head
Petrino.
coach. Petrino.
Oh, the old
Petrino.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won a couple, or at least one national championship. Yeah, I mean a couple. I
think so.
How long ago was
It's 15 years. 2000.
he won in 2000? Really?
Something.
Huh?
Joe Paterno.
It might be 90s.
Yeah, Joe Paterno.
Might be 90s.
I swear, if he won, it had to be the 90s.
82 and 86.
Even further
Even farther-
back.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
So I was when you said 2000s, I was like, I don't know about that one. I feel like I remember that.
That's the only thing that I could tie to Penn State in my early years was him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I guess it was the early 2000s.
It's been a while since they've done much.
Yeah, and I think them squeaking past. Who was it? Minnesota. It was somebody not very. No, Maryland. I'm sorry, Maryland.
With Talia Tungvaloa.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think there's any chance he makes the league?
In this draft, is he entering the draft this year?
He's a 5-year dude.
It was his last year now, so
That's
he has.
tough.
He's
Yeah.
gonna attempt. I mean, he got the name at least.
Yeah.
He could be a backup in Miami. We're
Think
going from Tungvaloa to Tungvaloa.
What did they say about Giannis's brothers? They got the best jobs in America.
Yeah,
Best job security. Yeah.
There you go.
it's like he will get you a job. Don't you worry.
Go down to Miami, get you some cornrows like your brother. We're good.
So the Egg Bowl is going to be a beatdown. I did have to look this one up. The Civil War Bowl. That's Oregon State. Which that doesn't make any sense to me because last I checked, the Civil War happened on the eastern side of the United States. So what does Oregon have to do with any of this?
They got to feel included, man. They're way out there.
But the Governor's Cup, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville versus Kentucky. Or Louisville, as it's said correctly. That one's going to be easy. Louisville's got that.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest. I haven't kept up much with Louisville. I don't know what their
Louisville's
strengths and weaknesses are.
Other than, I guess, well,
Not losing, apparently.
Clemson, North Carolina, Florida State. I mean, they're the other team I've been somewhat watching. They're
they're
surprising.
10-1,
They
I'm
almost
sorry.
lost that one game.
Wow.
They almost got upset by some not really good team, but they ended up winning that. So I think them against Florida State will be interesting, especially with Travis out. So I'm excited to watch it. I think Florida State could still win that just because Louisville, once they're not, like if they're not on, they easily lose.
Florida
The
State
quarterback could be
plays
good.
Florida. Or
They
no.
already played Florida. They're
No,
playing.
you're right. Florida State plays
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, it's Miami, which is
That's going to be
Miami's-
still gonna be a
Miami's
tough
not-
game.
yeah.
They're not. They went toe to toe with Louisville at home.
Yeah.
They did.
So it could be a letdown game if you poured all of that into a game against number 9. So could be.
Which
a
my
letdown.
bad. I didn't know they were 10-1. And the only loss came to Pittsburgh, which is kind of
It's kind of a bad loss.
but it's well.
Going undefeated in any conference is difficult. So
So if they, and we don't got to get into a whole big discussion, but if they won, knowing that they would be 12-1 if they won that ACC championship game, where in the pecking order do they fall as far as teams that could make it?
not.
I don't think Louisville can.
Think so?
No.
Yeah.
There's too many other teams that are better.
And their loss is bad. It's not like Texas A&M, or not Texas A&M, excuse me. Alabama losing to Texas. Granted, it was at home. So
I think if Georgia loses, I think they take Georgia 10 times out of 10.
oh yeah,
To Alabama, yeah.
yeah. Just because Alabama's one loss was against Texas like early in the year, are you really gonna take a hot Alabama team knocking off the 2-time national champion and not put them in?
Yeah.
That's just not happening.
Let's be honest. If no SEC teams are in there, I don't think anybody in this region's gonna
No,
care.
they
It's
gotta-
not a real,
This
it's not
is
real
a
without
football watching
it. Yeah.
part of the United States. You got to get somebody.
And I guess like the last football thing I'd like to bring up, unless y'all got something else, was just kind of got swept under the rug. James Madison losing their game after that whole process of like
Appalachian State.
against. I mean, after all that like let us in that because they transferred to Division One or something like that, and they had like a rule that they couldn't go to a bowl game even though they were undefeated. And they were game day. That's why
Oh, wow.
PFT was because he went to
Okay.
James Madison. That's why he was on game day, and that whole thing. They had a great crowd that came out, and then they just lost. And every time I think it's just tough, and like after all that, they just lose to Appalachian State. It just really did not help their chances for that. And it just like I heard nothing about it. Because the whole week was James Madison should be in, then they lost, and not a peep. There was nothing.
Wow.
So that's just tough. Unfortunate because they were looking good to do something maybe, but nope.
So they joined Division One, ran the table, and then lost to
yeah,
Appalachian State.
they didn't. Yeah, they didn't play like I don't know what conference they're in.
Brutal, man.
But
Appalachian State's been on a tear with some upsets.
Upset. Yeah, dude.
So-
They
Yeah.
had was Michigan or Ohio State like
I think it was Michigan.
15 years back?
Yeah, it was
and then
the
2
blocked field
years
goal.
ago, they beat somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty
stout.
pretty good when it comes to upsets.
Do you want to do another Immaculate Grid? See if we can best our.
Let's do it.
So once again, an Immaculate Grid. Just picture a 3x3 grid, and on the x-axis you have a team, sport, or award, and then on the y-axis you have a team, sport, or award. We're doing football. The x-axis today is the Patriots, the Lions, and a 1,000-yard receiving season, and the y-axis is the Packers, the Cowboys, and the Texans. If only Nick were here for the
Turn
Texans.
that laptop around so I can take a look. Oh boy.
So the Texans one's going to be easy for a 1,000-yard reception. You could do Brandon Cooks, but that's probably the obvious
Or
one.
Hopkins.
Andre Johnson.
Or Andre Johnson was the next one that I was thinking.
Hopkins, yeah.
Hopkins would be too. I think Andre Johnson's
Andre
far
Johnson's
enough back
probably the
that that's
best
a good one to. Okay, Cowboys, Lions. You should get this, yeah?
Cowboys, Lions.
Think about it. Packers and Patriots.
Cowboys,
I feel
Lions
like,
is actually going to be a hard one.
I feel like should
Packers,
know that.
Patriots, like, wasn't Amendola on the Packers at some point?
I don't
I'm
know
making
about
that up.
that.
I'll say a running back was, right? In the 2000s.
Let's go for the easy one. Let's get Andre Johnson.
Let's go
out of the
Andre
way.
Johnson. Yeah, 1,000 yards receiving, Texans.
No, 48%.
Wow. It should have gone Brandon Cooks.
Packers at the 1,000-yard. We could do. Surely Randall had one.
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson.
Donald Driver.
I didn't know that one.
Donald Driver.
Donald
I would like
Driver.
that.
Sounds
yeah,
like that
Donald
one,
Driver has to have it. Yeah.
14%.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Very
Nice.
nice.
Cowboys, you could go CD, Dez, Drew Pearson.
Gallup
Michael
hasn't got
Irvin.
1,000, right?
I think he flirted with it one year.
Who was that? The third person, Drew Pearson.
Drew Pearson, he's old school.
I'm
almost
I would
positive
lean
he had
towards doing
1,000,
him if he
but
had
I'm not-
1,000.
I'm not 100% on that one.
So who's the least obvious out of those? Probably Drew Pearson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But,
But
he might not
Terrence
have.
Williams,
what
I
we think.
think might have had 1,000 yards. There's the obvious ones are Dez, CD, Amari. Jason Wood never had 1,000. Michael Irvin definitely had
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet the house on Drew Pearson having 1,000. Oh, sorry, Drew Pearson. You had a great first name.
All right, so which one are we locking in for that? I think out of those,
So I'll give you your guaranteeds, and you tell me which one you think's the rarest. Des Bryant, CD, Amari, Michael Irvin.
I think does.
Really?
I think Amari probably.
Cooper or
weird
does, but
way,
like does I don't know. I feel like it's not like terribly far back, but out of those
I
four,
think Terrence Williams did it one year, but I don't know. I don't feel confident enough to say that.
Cooper's a good one.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think Amari had to be
he
the
can do
Amari
Cooper.
is guaranteed. Oops, helps to spell correctly. 10%. Okay,
There you go.
that-
Nice.
all right, that's not
Nice.
bad. All right, I'm gonna look up real quick just to see what Drew Pearson did.
Hey, no cheating.
I said the cheating. This is after the fact. I wanted to put some respect on his name.
You know, great first name, right?
Great first name. He did it
Little
twice.
Academy popped the chain out when we brought up the Cowboys.
Did
Feeling
it
good.
twice.
Threw 2 chains.
Let's see if Terrence Williams did it. All right, I'm glad we didn't do Terrence Williams because he did not. But Drew Pearson did, and that would have been a good one. All right,
So
back
who
to
do we
the
got
grid.
next?
So
Packers, Patriots.
Vince Wilfork for the Patriots, Texans.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's lock that one in.
big boy.
Wait. D'Amico Ryans. He played for the Niners and Texans, not Patriots, Texans, right?
You're on your own on that one. I got no idea.
Let's just go with Fork. Yeah,
21%. Okay.
that's not bad.
Patriots, Cowboys. I'm the Cowboys fan. I should know this.
Brandon Cooks for that.
True.
Let's do that. Yeah.
True.
Glad
He's
we
gonna
didn't
be
use
high.
him. Yeah.
typing at this angle is not the best.
Yeah.
I knew. Okay, 13%. That's
Come on, guys.
I thought it was going to be. Packers. All right, let's do the Lions because we got to save the Patriots for last because I feel like we'll know that one better. Texans, Lions.
Man, I want to say a tight end. Oh gosh.
This is going to be great podcast
Yeah,
entertainment.
I'm trying
for a
to.
second.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Lions. I'm going to think of that one because that one's.
Yeah. Matt Flynn ever played for the Lions? It's just Packers.
Possible. Thinking of backup quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know why I'm thinking of LeGarrette Blunt.
Who did Mike Ditka play
for LeGarrette Blunt, Patriots obviously.
Garrett Blunt's Patriots, Lions for sure. And
Oh,
Eagles.
that's why it's messing. Not Packers though.
No, not Packers.
That's unfortunate.
Trying to think.
All right, we just got to reel some off here. I don't even know.
These are the hardest ones too. Like, this was
There's
actually,
always one team we get where we're just like, what?
this was actually yesterday's because they had Jaguars and the Vikings on the same one, and I was like, no, we're not doing that again
Oh wow, yeah.
because I can barely name you a Vikings player or a Jag player. Amendola played for the Lions. Golden Tate played for the Lions. Did he play anywhere else?
Seahawks. Golden Tate, yeah.
Randall Cobb. He would work for the Texans, Packers, but that's not one of them.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Lions, Packers. Jamal Williams. He was Lions.
Maybe.
He was on the Packers.
Yeah. I think, right?
Yeah, no, give it a try.
Hey,
There you go. Nice.
Look at that
63%.
picture.
Oh gosh.
Crazy eyes.
All right.
All right, 3 more to go.
Lions,
You need
I
Patriots.
should know this.
You know, Patriots, Packers, Lions.
I want to just
Cowboys,
randomly say
Lions,
Nick
Texans.
Folk
Yeah.
because he started off with the Cowboys and he's been everywhere.
What team was Nathan Peterman on for that whole thing?
He was
Bills.
on
That was
the
Bills.
Bills and the Raiders.
Yeah.
He followed old Buddy Gruden.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the Brett Favre era with the Packers early. Patriots.
What about a Bennett? There's been a Bennett that's played on the Packers. Martellus or
See, I don't know which one. Probably Martellus.
I want to say it's
right?
the tight end.
Yeah, Martellus Bennett. Yeah.
Martellus. This is the second week in a row that we had Martellus Bennett sighting. All right.
Oh, good call.
50,
Nice.
Oh gosh, 57%.
Oh,
We're
wow.
getting terrible
All right.
at this. We're not beating last week, but
No, hey.
Try to green out.
all right. Texans, Lions. Adrian Peterson never played for the Texans, did he?
I was thinking that now.
Mark Ingram never played for the Lions, did he?
No.
David Johnson never played for the Lions, right? At any
Cardinals.
point. Well, no, Cardinals and Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he dropped out. Who was the running back for the Texans for the longest time? Starts with an A.
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster. I couldn't tell you another team he played for.
I don't know either. Man.
Cowboys. Because the Cowboys don't sign a lot of free
No.
agents.
No.
And when we lose guys, it's very rare. Cole Beasley went to the Bills. I want to say Nick Folk played for the...
Let's try it. Yeah. If we're not going to beat last week's score, let's just try to take some swings.
Ooh. All right.
Did not get that one.
Texans, Lions. I got no idea.
I don't know either.
Have they had any big free agency signings recently?
We had Nick here. He would know. Maybe.
Let's just give him a call.
Lifeline.
Just take a guess, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Thinking of like past players.
Fairbairn hasn't played for any other
I know
team, has
Matt,
he?
I thought of Matt Shaw, but he didn't play for the Lions at all.
Who were their quarterbacks? Brock Osweiler ever play for the Lions?
No, I don't think so. No.
As a backup, maybe? I don't know. Who's Jacoby Jones? Texans.
I'm trying to think of another kicker. Didn't
Prater?
That's what I was thinking.
Let's put in Prater. And we'll move on to the next one.
That's a good
if not
guess.
right. Yeah.
Old kicker.
Bam.
427.
Interesting.
All right. Well, that's enough of that.
All right, so now the last segment is just NFL.
Don't sound so excited.
Dude, it's Thanksgiving week, man. You can't. Why?
You get a little lethargic on that.
I don't know. I
Thanksgiving
guess
week.
first thing I saw was Bengals Ravens, man. That did kind of bum me out.
There's a bunch of like classic games. Or
Got
like
Black Friday
Bengals,
game, too.
Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bears, and Lions. Oh no, that was last week. I'm looking at the
Yeah, I
wrong
was
one.
gonna say. I was gonna say. Yeah, those
Packers,
already happened,
Lions.
man.
Woo. The Redskins, Cowboys, Niners, Seahawks. It is an inter division matchups that'll be good. Steelers, Bengals will be good. Saints, Falcons, always good.
Yeah.
Browns, Broncos. I think that's going to be a closer game than because the Browns' offense is terrible, and the Broncos' offense.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
4 games. Yeah.
And I didn't start Cortland Sutton again. And you know what he did? He went out and proved me wrong.
There you
Got
go.
another great touchdown.
Dude, he's like, honestly, there's a lot of great wide receivers in the NFL right now. If I got to like throw it up, there's only like 2 or 3 I'm putting ahead of Cortland Sutton right now. And that's like A.J. Brown. Well, CD's because he's just like on a freaking tear right now.
Yeah.
There's not many people that on a jump ball that I'm trusting more than Cortland Sutton right now. He's got the hops. He's huge. I'd like to see what he looked like next to DK Metcalf because I don't know that he's that big, but he's within
big
shouting distance.
I don't know if there's a system in place right now, but if this is how it's going to work with the injuries on Thursday night, can we at least do it to where a team's coming off a bye week and plays on a Thursday?
Yeah, no short weeks.
Because I mean, now if we're adding the London games to where every single week we have an 8:30 game all the way until 8:30, then that night it's like we got all of Sunday taken care of, and then Monday, can we at least do them a solid on a Thursday? I don't want
Yeah.
to see Joey B get hurt, Mark Andrews get hurt, and I think there's another guy that got hurt. Maybe. Oh, Lamar for a brief second, but it just sucks.
Yeah.
Which that whole situation was shady with them not reporting his injury.
Yeah.
That was walking in with the brace on. Sounds like something Arthur Smith would do.
They posted the picture and then they took it back down. That's crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know about that.
So no, when this comes out, it's going to be in the past. But since the game hasn't started, we just haven't
started
picked
a
it.
while. It's almost ended the first quarter.
Or don't tell me what it is. So I'm gonna put my prediction.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 23-20 Chiefs. If they already have like 24 points, like don't tell me.
I'm going to 30-24 Chiefs.
Go ahead, Connor.
I won't give out my prediction. I've had it on my phone
Okay.
throughout the podcast. So
I think we talked about it a little bit last week anyway.
I
So
think we did. Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if my
What's the
prediction
score right now?
changed.
it's 7-0 Chiefs and the Eagles.
Who has the tutty?
Justin Watson.
There you
Mahomes
go.
passing touchdown. Kelsey has not gotten the catch yet.
Not gotten a catch. Oh, wow.
Pacheco's doing well.
Well, I do think Collar's back. Just looking at the games. Mm-hmm. I think he looks really good.
Surprisingly, with Call of Duty already being out,
I know, man. I told you he was a new man. Looking good.
he still cracks me up anytime I see him like run out of the pocket with the ball. He's just like he looks like a toddler who just stole somebody's phone.
Stroud looked pretty human. I think he had kind of a tough day, didn't he?
I mean, he still put up like 18 fantasy points. Which, speaking of fantasy points, Reese, who's in second place in the division now?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm ahead of you. We're tied for record, but I'm ahead by points.
Yeah, okay.
But hey, that was a crazy game. Old Colby talking smack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he fell to last in the division.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Yeah.
Poor guy.
We'll be all right. I'll just take care of you next week, and we'll be fine. We'll be 8-4.
Now, if I beat you next week, I could just I can cruise to the playoffs because I don't think I'm gonna get. Don't think I'll get a top seed, so I won't get a bye.
Kentucky.
Lane's probably freaking out right
Anyways, all right. Upcoming games: Packers-Lions. I think the Lions just absolutely kill them.
now. I think the Packers surprised them with a stunner on Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got a score prediction?
I was about to say 37, but there's no way they're scoring that much.
I'm going to say Lions by 3. I'm going to say
I
24,
was thinking
21.
Packers by 3, 27, 24.
I'm gonna go with Lions. But 3's fine.
All right, well, I got by 3. Redskins, Cowboys at the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys can win that.
It's just
I would
hilarious.
hope so.
So they've lost to the Giants twice, right? The Commanders. Isn't
Twice?
that both of the Giants wins against the Commanders?
I don't know.
Imagine, dude.
The one thing, Sam Howell still leads the league in passing yards, and you're down a corner. But you do have one of the best corners in the league, in Deron Bland, 4.
Which you
4
called that.
I did.
Getting the interception return for a touchdown. Yeah.
I said he either got another one or Micah got a fumble for a recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Micah had three sacks. So
Damn.
Bryce Young saw a lot of that man, more than he wanted to, I'm sure.
I mean, that's great that he's getting the passing yards award, I guess. If that is an award, I doubt it. But nah, I think y'all beat him by 10 plus.
It's just we got to keep everything in front of us. Don't let the safeties get too far back because McLaurin and Dotson, they can get past you in a hurry.
No, yeah.
Dotson hasn't been doing much recently. I mean, Sam Howell's been fine, but just hasn't been getting targets.
We got Niners at Seahawks. I think that'll be a fun game.
I think I'm with you. The
got a
12th
good
man
slate, yeah.
is always makes it interesting.
Yeah. Steelers.
I think I'm
Bengals.
still picking Niners by 7. So I say 31-24.
Who are the Niners playing?
Seahawks at Seahawks.
Yeah, Niners.
But I think it'll be closer than. Although the line's probably
I'm
only
gonna just go against the grain and say Seahawks 27, Niners 20. Just because it's Thanksgiving, weird day.
and it's on Friday,
Yeah.
isn't it? Or is it the late Thursday game?
The Jets game is Friday.
Okay, so it's the late
I want to
Thursday
say,
game.
yeah, because it's on the West Coast.
And
yeah,
Zach
makes sense.
Wilson not starting anymore.
He's not even the backup, dude. He's third string.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the
They have
second
Tim
guy?
Boyle and Trevor Simeon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
DeVito for the Giants has more multi-touchdown passing games than Pickett and Wilson.
Well, that's just 'cause
DeVito's
it's coming
better
from
than Daniel
behind. But
Jones.
still,
Not combined,
no, I
but
mean, they beat the Commanders last week, so. Tommy.
Yeah, that's insane. So, so the Cowboys are just going to absolutely destroy the Commanders. They got to.
Oh.
the
What?
text. Did you
No,
hear the
no.
text,
What
John?
are you smirking over there about? I thought we were.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, if
think?
the Giants beat the Commanders,
I mean, hey, that transitive property or whatever you were
It
talking
doesn't
about
work.
earlier. Hey.
yeah, I need to stop bringing that up because it keeps backfiring.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Steelers, Bengals. It's gonna be closer now. I mean, unfortunately.
So my prediction is the Bengals are gonna have more yardage than the Steelers, and the Steelers are gonna do what they've done all year, and they're gonna win.
That's what they do every time. Yeah.
They're gonna be like negative 150 yards in the yardage department, and they're still gonna win. I bet it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say 20-16 Steelers.
Dude, they're like the Iowa of the NFL. They'll put up 16, the other team scores 15. You know? Like a couple key turnovers.
Yeah, but would you rather blow people out like every other game and then lose the every other game, or be close every game but win?
I'd rather win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the
But
day,
in the
that's the only
playoffs, it's
stat
not
that
going to
counts.
work. I mean, in that conference. I mean, in any conference, that offensive, that's tough.
Well, the one thing that doesn't typically get better in the playoffs is your offense.
Well, that's
your
true.
defense
Does, yeah.
will always be the same or get better.
Especially in Pittsburgh, that'd be tough. Then you got Saints at Falcons. I don't even really have much to say. They put Ritter back in. Wins were taken out of my sails.
They put him back in.
Yeah.
Who'd y'all play?
Huh?
Who'd y'all play?
The bye week.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That's right.
I don't know.
I knew that.
You got a rookie running back averaging 5 yards a carry, and we're just, the fact that the quarterback's a problem when there's a ton of great quarterbacks out there just blows my mind. But we're not going to ramble on it. It is what it is. Falcons in purgatory yet again.
I think y'all need to start running some more play action.
How about give them the ball so we can use play action?
I saw something on Instagram where it's like Arthur Smith drew up a play where it was snap to the Wildcat for your tight end number 2, who then proceeded to throw a pass to tight end number 3 while your 8th overall pick was blocking for him. It's like,
Yeah.
who draws that up?
Yeah, dude. Some guy's betting against the Falcons.
You have to wonder if he's like,
Dude,
if he's in the
some
betting
of this
market.
stuff, it's just like, you cannot make it up.
Like the guy on the other team always has to have Kyle Pitts. Like it just has to be.
Yeah.
That's the way he's betting, or that's the way he's playing them.
Like, I don't know, you said Miss Hayes watches this, but if you told me, and I apologize in advance, but if you told me you were going to use any of your top 10 offensive weapons, I would say you're bullshitting me. It's a fictional story, but nope.
Who's y'all's number 1 receiver this year?
Drake.
Is it Drake?
Yeah.
But is it like a wide margin?
Yes, dude. It's Matt Collins is the number 2, or Scotty Miller. Sorry. But they're throwing it to Matt Collins.
Of all the guys that you could be number 2, like you still have Cordell Patterson, who's like a year or 2 removed from a 1,000-yard season.
They're using him more than, again. But he's listed as a running back, so
I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude. Yeah. But no, we're not doing the Falcons. Nope. Done.
Bye week.
Done. Yeah, no, nothing. Browns at Broncos.
Watching the Kentucky
Right,
game,
pause.
by the way. We gotta
Because the time,
gotta watch
shot
the
clock
ending.
stops. So this
It's
is
77-76. Kentucky winning by 1 against St. Joseph's. 25 seconds to go. What will happen? We will find
Drew
out.
is a big Kentucky fan, if you couldn't tell.
He's had a rough
Him
week
gasping.
of Auburn. If Kentucky
Yeah, dude,
loses,
we
I
need-
think we're just ending the podcast now.
Yep. Oh,
Oh, they
Is that
called
clean?
foul.
it's a big deal.
Free throws, baby. 14 seconds, plenty of time. Even if he makes 1 or 2, you got time. That's good.
keeping the
Yeah,
podcast
text-
going during
Yeah,
this.
text Lane and see how he's doing.
Oh, Lane's blood pressure's through the roof right now.
He's got a drink in his
You
hand.
Auburn, Kentucky
He's
fans
like a
have having
freaking-
a rough time.
He's like a butterfly. Not a butterfly.
Where are we going with that, Drew?
I was going for Mockingbird because they're like blood pressure so
What's the
freaking high.
timestamp? I'll cut that out.
Yeah, 59.
I'm
30.
kidding. I'm not cutting it
All
out.
right.
Oh,
Wow,
tie game.
big man can make his free
Big man,
throws.
77 all.
All right.
14 seconds.
They go into OT. We'll just speed up this NFL preview. Yeah.
All right. Can he make next free throw? Get him the lead. That's true.
Hey,
Disappointed. Hey.
I saw that.
Oh, can he do it? He's got ice in his veins?
No. Oh, there you go. Tie game.
Oh,
Game
For the
winner
lead.
overtime.
here we go.
For the win. Come on.
He's holding the
8,
mic.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Overtime. Overtime.
Wow.
They didn't call
All right.
timeout. Wow.
Let's just go ahead and.
Overtime in Kentucky,
So-
St. Joseph. All right. Let's
So, finishing up the preview.
Broncos, Browns. I think Broncos actually win it. I think they come out. They're on a tear.
Broncos are good right now.
I think Browns take it just
With
for that
Dorian?
exact reason. Just for that exact reason, dude.
What do you think is DTR? Is he the man?
Joe Flacco?
He's
Just
going
signed
to be
him.
the third.
They just
string.
signed him? Yeah. Oh my God.
The
But
man.
DTR.
I know. I just think we
got
all
his
think the
first
Broncos
win.
should win 5 straight, but there's gonna be a game where it's just like, how did they win? We don't know, but they did. That's what I'll take. It's not. I mean, I'll say Browns by 7. I don't even know what score to put it on. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 17-10.
Uh-oh.
I thought they were trying to put time back on the clock. Anyway. I don't think they are.
Then we got the Bills at Eagles and the Bears at Vikings to wrap it up.
Okay. Bills.
Bills Eagles at Eagles.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
It's a nice matchup though. I like that.
No, that's,
I don't
that's
see the
gonna be fun to
Bills.
watch.
I want the Bills to win because
Same.
screw the Eagles, but
Well,
I don't see the Bills winning it.
I really do think Josh Allen is the most overrated in the NFL.
I'm glad we're finally getting there.
most overrated.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of someone else, but
Yeah. I'm not even
I mean,
trying to
like
be a
in terms
douche,
of fantasy
like-
football.
No,
Just saying,
no,
like,
if we're
he's
talking
number
fantasy,
one,
yeah.
So I'm just saying.
What's crazy? Josh Dobbs, the Pastronaut, is 7th as a QB in fantasy, and he's been on 2 different teams.
And Jordan Love's still up there, even though he's not been very good in real life. So, fantasy
Yeah,
reality.
I think the Eagles will probably win that by a touchdown or so.
I say
unless the
by
Bills
10.
clean it up, I don't. I need them to win this game to get some more happiness and have a hope that they can make a playoff run.
I think Chiefs pull out this game we're watching right now, and the Eagles as motivation come back and just beat the Bills 31-17.
I say 30-20
30-20.
Philly, unfortunately.
Bears at Vikings, man. That's
I think it's going to be
Again,
that's going to be a
fun
close
game.
game.
fun game.
Justin Fields back, yeah.
DJ Moore
I'm
looking like
so
a-
glad that I went back because I originally had Russell Wilson starting. I'm so glad I went back and changed it because I would have lost without it.
You told me you were going to go with
I was
Russell
like,
Wilson.
I would go with
first
Wilson
game
just because
back,
like
you
he's
know.
coming back off like
Yeah.
a hand or like a wrist injury. Like I don't know how I feel about that, but then he came out and actually played really well.
Yeah.
Aside from that last play, but like
Yeah.
somebody's got to be watching that side.
That's right. All right. We all got anything else for that?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
All right. Awesome. I appreciate all y'all tuning in, and we'll catch y'all again next week for episode 9. All right. Nice. Let's watch this.
Yeah. It should still be on.